Hello there, my name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Jonboy Lavatank, which I received from www.jonboyslavatanks.com. Before I start, I must point out I did receive it free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review, but my opinion of the product remains true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, so now I said I received this from www.jonboyslavatanks.com. Unfortunately though, they won't actually take you through to a proper online website where you can buy one. Instead, these are all sold via the forums, and that link will actually take you through to the correct thread on the correct forum, and from there you'll be able to find all the information you need on how you can get hold of one if you did fancy trying one out for yourself. Okay then, so let's go straight ahead and show you in a bit more detail and show you how to get it all set up. Okay, so here we have all the parts that make up the Jonboy Lavatank. You have your two end caps, the tank, and then you have these regular sized Bogue cartomisers. Now you will need to punch a hole in the cartomiser in order to allow e-liquid to enter it from the tank. You can get various little gadgets which will puncture the hole for you. If you haven't got one of those, then you can do it quite easily with just a hammer and a small nail. Just hold the nail in place, give it a slight tap with a hammer, and that should go through quite easily. Or if you've got something like a Dremel, then you can actually just sort of cut a small slot instead. Now all the end caps are completely made by hand. I'm not too sure what the material they're made out of though, because I believe they use quite a few different materials in their manufacturing. One thing that is worth pointing out is that the mouthpiece and the top cap are all one unit, so you won't be able to use your own sort of favourite drip tip, but this is still a very nice mouthpiece to use though. In the bottom bit here, again, all made by hand, and this particular one all black with the sort of silver shimmer there on one side. In the centre you'll see a O-ring going around there, and that is used for gripping the cartomiser. And I'm finding that once it's sort of settled in, once the juice has dispersed from the seal, it does hold the cartomiser very solid, and it's not going to go anywhere basically. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill it up with some juice and get it all assembled. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is just put the bottom end cap into the tank, and that just pushes into place. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is push the cartomiser through the bottom cap there. And make sure you fill the cartomiser first with your e-liquid. And what you might find is that it's going to be quite sort of tough to push that through. And you want to be careful because obviously you've got the sharp edges here, and you may end up damaging the O-rings. So just to make things a little bit easier and to act as a bit of lube, I'm just going to add a little bit of juice to the O-ring there, just to sort of moisten it up a little bit, and then it should slide in a lot easier hopefully. Then just push it all the way in as far as it will go. Well, not as too far. You want it so it's flush with the bottom there. Then once the cartomiser in place, you can just take whatever e-liquid you're using, just press it down the side there and fill up your tank. And I wouldn't fill it all the way up to the top, you want to leave a bit of a gap there. Now when it comes to putting the top piece on, if you put it on the top and then just push it down straight away, you're going to be forcing all air down, and all you're going to get is a load of juice coming out the connection at the bottom. So what I do is I just rest it on top, just so the O-rings are just sort of touching the top of the tank. Then turn it upside down and then push it down, and you don't get any juice coming out the bottom that way. And then finally we can just attach it to whatever device you're going to be using. And that's it, all sorted. We can go and have a nice vape. Okay, so that is the Jonboy Lavatank. Now during the close-up shots I did sort of say it was quite a plain looking tank, and I didn't mean that in a negative way whatsoever. I just meant compared to Jonboy's other lava tanks, which are normally very brightly coloured, normally have very sort of psychedelic looking patterns all over them. I mean compared to his other ones, it's quite a plain looking one. But nevertheless it's still a very nice looking tank. Okay, so I'll give you a quick demonstration of it in action, but please bear in mind it's the cartomiser that's doing all the work rather than the tank. The tank is just basically a vessel to hold more e-liquid to stop you from having to sort of top up and refill the cartomiser every 2 seconds. Okay, so I've got a 2.3 ohm Bow cartomiser in now, and I'm using it on my Mini Pro Vari set at 4.5 volts, and I've just got the tank filled up with some 18 milligram strength PG based tobacco flavoured e-liquid. As you can see, like, I know the Bow cartomisers are absolutely fantastic for vapour production, excellent for flavour as well, and throw hit. And like I said, if you like vaping at the higher voltages, get yourself like a 2.3 ohm or 3 ohm cartomiser, whack up the old voltage, and it just really does hit the spot. As I mentioned, the drip tip is actually part of the top cap, so you won't be able to use your sort of favourite drip tips with it. I'll say a drip tip is more of a mouthpiece really, but I don't see that as a negative at all. It's what makes the Lavatanks a little bit more unique, and it's an exceptionally comfortable mouthpiece to use as well. It does feel nice when you're vaping on it. Another good thing about these tanks is that they are all handmade, so they're not sort of mass produced in some little factory out of Mongolia, which then means that you're never going to find 2 tanks that are exactly the same, which means that every one of them is going to be a nice little sort of collector's item. Price wise, they are on the slightly higher end of the scale compared to other cartomiser tanks, but again, you have to bear in mind that these are handmade, so some time and effort has gone into actually producing these. Not a great deal else I can really sort of tell you about it. It's a very nice tank, very nice and unique. It looks great. Personally, I would try and get one of the more sort of psychedelic looking colours or the patterns. It just gives it that little bit of a groovy edge to it, I suppose, really. But like I said, if you like your plain black ones, then I don't think you can really sort of beat it, really. Okay, so if you fancy trying one of these out for yourself, then go along to www.jonboyslavatanks.com. That'll then take you through to the correct thread on the correct forum, and from there you'll find all the information you need on how to get hold of one. Thank you very much for watching, and also come along and visit my website at www.e-cig-reviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping, see you later.